is maybe not so much in this tournament so far. We've only had the one maybe slight upset between Deku and Yanni. Everyone else going to seeding, but you're correct. In these top groups, anything can happen. Players all at very high standards. Very, very easy to make a mistake.
Traitor might be the #1 seed in his pool. Tommy is likely the #1 treasure hunter in upper pools.
Maybe, yeah. I don't think there'd be too much dispute on that. I think there aren't too many people pushing for that top hunting place in the community. Maybe Cryptic arguing for it, but he is, of course, in lower pools. So, yeah, definitely looking like probably the strongest hunter we have in the upper groups. But it'll be his Sonic and Tails that will be the real deciders, I think, here. I think Traitor probably does have the edge. I probably suspect, especially in the Sonic areas.
But you know how those Sonic tricks can be, especially if they decide to go for something that's a little bit less safe, like Green Forest Wall Run.
Exactly, yeah. Lots of potential skips being on offer today. Very, very easy to make mistakes. Crazy gadget, very easy to throw away a couple of lives there if you can't get out of bounds. We might even see our first attempt at TAS run in Green Forest in this race. Again, a very, very easy one to mess up and cost yourself a bunch of time. So
both runners. Traitor's actually been practicing Hex Skip.
So we might see our first exhibition of Hex Skip during this run as well. So very exciting. Anything could be happening. And obviously, CE skip at the start could be essentially that big decider, sort of giving one person maybe that early 30-40 second advantage. If only one of them hits it. And then it's playing catch up the entire race, seeing what happens. As we see Tommy deleting the Kurik Chow. I think he's just deleting all his opponents at the moment. I don't blame him.
It'd be the cool thing to do.
It is, yeah, you got to assert your dominance in the Chow Garden. Say goodbye to everybody. You're the only one left standing. That is, of course, the objective in this competition.
I think he'd be holding this off until next match, but
I think he's sending the message out early that everyone else can go. You finally see him taking Frog. A little showcase around the garden. We do move into about just under a minute now before we're looking to get this match started. We see Traitor also sat there on the story select, ready to go. Tommy finishing up with his little chow. He's going to save Frog's life for this one. Maybe delete him next time round.
We had a mention about possible skips and whatnot, but both of these players are also fairly accomplished 180 runners, which definitely helps a lot with skipless consistency as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. If they choose not to go for them or if they make a mistake, both players very adept at making those little clutch saves and then playing out skipless if they have to. So it should be a high quality match all the way around. I think we are about ready for the countdown. If you want to get that going for us, Burke, so we can get our first match of the day underway. Perfect. We've had the countdown and they are off. Traitor getting a slightly earlier start. Obviously not actually affected because of our timing methods. Both timers are running nicely as we move down through City Escape.
But obviously, first thing we're going to want to watch out for is see if we get the fabled ramp skip. Not something you expect from either of these players, but you know, it happens to everyone.
I don't recall seeing one so far in this tournament, not any of the matches I've watched, so both these players avoiding becoming the first one to do it so far.
No ramp skip. Tommy did hit a car, so losing maybe a second or two there.
Yeah, not too much separating them. Traitor getting slightly cleaner movement, getting an early advantage. He does move on to C skip. We'll see if he can hit it. Going to pause method, and he does get it. So Traitor getting at Tommy now on his attempt. Looking, unfortunate for Tommy. So it's going to be a big advantage for Traitor off the bat. He's looking to try and get him maybe at 120, maybe a little bit better if he gets some clean truck section. Which could put Tommy about 35 seconds behind. Not the sort of deficit you want here.
Especially not this early in the race. But again, you never know where things could come back. So Tommy having some issues getting caught on these tiny little walls while doing his spin dash is also definitely not helping.
Yeah, not the cleanest skipper so far from Tommy. As we see Traitor come in with a 119.75, so our first sub 120 Cityscape of the tournament. A very strong start here for Traitor.
Too easy.
Maybe worth mentioning, time zones is significantly later in the day for Tommy, and he's apparently been up for quite a while. So he's definitely more tired than Trader is right now, and that might be showing a little bit in how the CE is going.
I'm out here. Finally decided to show up, eh?
That and he might not have been doing quite as much practice. I know Traitor's been putting a lot of practice in the last week or so getting ready for this. I've not been seeing how much Tommy's been putting in.
That's true, though. Yeah. I think Tommy does more offline practice than Trader does.
Tommy coming through with a 204 though, so it's a big 45-second deficit coming out of the first stage. He's going to need quite some good gameplay here to try and make up this deficit, or some big mistakes from Traitor.
In these upper pools, the Knuckles RNG is definitely not enough to make that up on its own.
Yeah, you'd expect both players to be forming through Knuckles quite well. RNG could play its part, but I don't expect too much. Traitor spotting the between two statues free-piece.
So definitely not getting double containers for piece one. Very solid set from Trader so far.
Yeah, he's quite fortunate going to the right side for his piece. So yeah, Traitor coming out with a 20
second. Yep.
So a very, very solid time indeed. As you see Tommy getting to the end of his Bigfoot fight. So Tommy will be the slight favourite in the hunting stages, but we have to see if RNG is going to be on his side, and if you make that slight advantage count.
It's definitely not going to be an easy Wild Canyon to beat.
So no free pieces seen at the bottom there for Tommy. And not getting the best set, it looks like. No free piece visible in the middle either, so he's going to be definitely falling slightly further behind here. Yeah, unfortunate final piece. Not the best set for Tommy.
Yep. He kept his eye out for any potential free pieces, but just nothing that he's able to see. It looks like he is about 50 seconds behind leading Wild Canyon.
Yeah, getting a little bit too low on that final piece there, so losing himself another couple of seconds. But we have seen deaths in Prison Lane. Maybe not expecting at this sort of level, but maybe some of the riskiest strats maybe going for. So we'll see if Traitor can make his way through clean.
On the flip side, having just slightly unclean movement in Prison Lane can lose a lot of time without even necessarily seeing where it all went.
Yeah, very easy to make some momentum losses, turning a bit too sharply, or just not locking onto an enemy when you'd like to, so a door opening slowly.
The slightest bit of a clip on a box or wall.
But all going clean enough so far as he gets a low 36 elevator. Didn't go for the IL gate hop, so not too much better I think he could have done there without really pushing himself. I think just taking it fast and consistent, Tommy going to need to get the top of his game here to try and keep up and not let that deficit continue to grow.
Of course, one thing to mention, even if this does end up being something where it doesn't seem like it's the most winnable situation for Tommy, the amount of time that the winner wins by is important for tiebreakers, so it's definitely worth still playing to the best of your ability throughout the entire race.
Yeah, knowing that you can't afford really to get tilted and sort of throw your run away, you need to just keep trying to play to the best of your ability, just in case that tiebreak situation does come around. As Traitor ending his Prison Lane with a 1:32. I think that's the fastest Prison Lane we've seen this tournament. So Traitor really flying for his run at the moment.
Absolutely, and I mean a sub 130 Prison Lane is possible, but really not something you expect to see in a race.
Yeah, so I think Tommy might struggle to match that time, so he might see a few more seconds here going in Traitor's advantage as he enters into Metal Harbor. Very easy stage to lose your life. A lot of risky strats potentially being on show here. We'll see if Traitor can make it through. A very clean underloop.
Like about a 16-second upgrade?
19. Oh, it's Tommy just about making that second gate hop. But he is already losing time to Traitor through this stage. We'll see just how much. So it's a 139, so about 7 seconds.
Sub 140 is still a very respectable prison lane. Just not what he needs to claw back time.
The first attempt at the pulley skip in this tournament, Traitor does hit it. And then avoiding the use of birthday skip. So not taking that little bit of time save. But only a 52 check, so not the fastest we've seen anybody go through Metal Harbor. We have seen, I think, 50s in the drum race from yesterday. Tommy also getting a very clean underloop as he makes his way towards the upgrade.
Definitely no major mistakes here either.
Yeah, I think the only major difference that separates these two so far is obviously that city escape. Tommy not skip versus Traitor obviously hitting the skip. And a little bit of RNG playing its case in Wild Canyon. But other than that, they've been fairly close throughout all the stages. Traitor coming in with a 125. Probably a little disappointed with that, but not taking any deaths or major time losses. So I don't think he'd be too upset. As we Storage playing a little trick there on Tommy.
Getting a little bit of a balk with the somersault, and not the worst time loss, but can always be a little bit tilting.
So far, so good. Hey, that's...
Yeah, those little errors you don't like to see as you're playing through a stage.
Faker.
But Tommy getting up onto the missile nice and comfortably there. And we'll see just how far behind he is as it comes to the end. But it's looking close to a minute, just under a minute at this point, I think.
You won't even get the chance.
See, as long as it gets through here. Yep,
Yeah,
just under a minute.
So it's 58 seconds. So as we see, Traitor with a very clean Shadow 1. No high jumps, no miss hits.
Now Traitor coming into Green Forest could be the first wall run that we see of the tournament, or could be the first major time loss in this stage if he fails wall run.
Yeah, we saw Yanimatics yesterday for the first attempt at a wall run. Not quite getting off, but did save himself. So we will see if... I am almost certain Traitor is going to be going for some of these skips. That might be our first TommyeAsy of the tournament as well coming up. But we will see if he's able to...
practicing a lot.
Definitely, yeah. We'll see if he's able to actually hit them or if he's going to be taking some death there. I imagine he will go for TommyeAsy because it is straight after a checkpoint, so there's no massive risk involved with it.
And he does go for it and gets it.
Gets it nice and clean, so very good start to Green Forest for Traitor. So yeah, first TommyeAsy hit of the tournament. First attempt, I think, of the tournament.
Saw Tommy falling into the water, thought for a moment he died in Green Forest. No, that was just doing the post Shadow 1. No issues there.
I think Traitor just hit our first mini run of the tournament as well. Mini war run in Green Forest. I don't think anybody's gone for that yet. As he does approach the tree, so we'll see if he is going for that task run. I would expect to try and see it from him.
And he's going for it. Oh,
getting a little caught up on the tree.
Does he give up here, or... Nope.
He does set up for it again and does get on the tree, but he's in a little awkward position.
Manages to get around, though, not losing his position. And he makes it.
He does make task run, so our first attempted task run is hit in the tournament. Not the cleanest you'll probably see, but Traitor really putting on a showcase through this Green Forest at the moment.
And it really says something about the caliber of a player when, you know, these skips don't go perfectly right, but you still manage to course correct and pull it off anyways without actually losing the time you could otherwise.
I think we just got a message in chat that Traitor is on PB pace, so we've seen a few PBs already in this tournament, but seeing one from a top-seeded runner, then you know it's going to be a good run. As we see Tommy here, either not attempting or just getting his setup wrong for mini wall run. He did not attempt TommyeAsy earlier. We'll see if he does go for wall run. And we'll see how RNG decides to treat Traitor in Pumpkin Hill. It's quite kind to him in Wild Canyon. We'll see if that continues.
Setting up for the wall run. And not quite up the wall.
Yeah, Tommy there.
Takes a little bit of time there.
I'm not sure if he bailed out of that or if he got a vertex and saved himself, but yeah, not quite sticking it. As we see Traitor getting pretty interesting secondaries and Three Brothers Tombstone from there, so that is the middle one on Church. And And then digging at the wrong tombstone. Yeah, we're going for some tombstone near some grass there by the look of it. And then not a terrible third piece from where he is. He's going to come in with a should be a sub 40 set still. So not you take that I think in a tournament setting. As Tommy comes to the end of his green forest with a 141. So that's another 20 seconds or so that he's lost there to Traitor.
This is perfect.
At this point, it's looking more and more like it's going to be Traitor's race to lose, but we'll see how things continue to progress. Especially if he's being on PB pace, that might have those nerves kick in even worse.
Yeah, I think at this point it's not so much about how well Tommy can play in. If Traitor's going to be making those mistakes, I think if he has a clean run from here, it's completely out of Tommy's hands. So he's just going to have to keep playing his own game here, just play to the best of his ability and just hope those mistakes come around.
It's like Tommy going for the twin skulls check. A little bit controversial here.
Oh, there's going to be some very upset Loadless fans in chat right now. He's just sitting there in the upgrade.
As we get both players sitting in the upgrades at the same time, just different upgrades.
Very interesting though, he seemed to stay there a lot longer than just the twin skulls check, so I'm not entirely sure what he was doing. Pumpkin Snowman for a second piece, so quite a low piece here. So we'll be hoping for a kind third piece. There are some quite bad ones here.
Ooh, King of the Hill, not what you want to see.
That's sort of one I was worried about him seeing. So RNG really not being Tommy's favour today. As we see Traitor now moving cleanly through a couple of small Mission Street, apologies. A couple of small mistakes, but should still be comfortably on pace for Zero Cycle. Assuming he doesn't make any mistakes, of course, hover at the end here.
As long as he makes this one last jump.
Yeah, making with a not the most time in the world, but with a little bit of time to spare.
Definitely very comfortable in a stage where you can lose a lot of time very easily.
Yeah, the 125 checks, he's lost a little bit of time, probably somewhere early on in the stage. Maybe just before the upgrade. We expect maybe a high 123, low 124. So we're probably looking at a 203 here if it goes clean. Ooh, that may be a 204 with that little unfortunate slip down the ramp.
It's still a very solid mission streak, especially for a place where a single mistake could potentially cost upwards of 12 seconds.
Yeah, one simple, missing that cycle, after 12 seconds you end up getting the cycle afterwards. I think I was, 204, about right, about what I was expecting. So we see Tommy here attempting weight hop. Getting it nice and clean, so he'll be obviously attempting Zero Cycle himself.
Making his first cycle on these platforms here.
Yeah, I don't think he IGT abused as much as he could have done there in the checkpoint. So this being a cycle-based stage, you have a bit of time with clean movement to wait in the upgrades. The more you're willing to risk it, the more time you will save. Obviously, riskier potentially missing these cycles. He's not quite able to make his first pause over, so it's going to be a little tight potentially here from on Zero Cycle.
Aquatic Mine RNG not being the kindest trader so far. No free pieces, having to reset twice until he gets a green ping.
Yeah, this might be evening itself out a little bit after the kind Wild Canyons and Aquatic Mine. Not the best start for Aquatic Mine to Traitor. And then not a great second piece either.
This might be his revenge for the fact that he was sitting in minecart dumping area as we were waiting for things to start up.
This might be an opening now for Tommy to maybe claw some of this time back in Aquatic Mine. Getting that Ghost Room piece 3. Not falling out of bounds, grabbing his piece. But a mid-40 set, not what you'd be hoping for at this sort of stage of the tournament.
It might be a good chance for Tommy to make up some time here.
Yeah, we did see Deku getting, I think it was a 13 yesterday in his first race. So any RNG like that, and it could be potentially up to 30 seconds or so that Tommy can claw back here. Which he will need, because he has 40 seconds plus the Aquatic Mine behind. So he's going to need a RNG to be kind to him here. With Traitor entering into Route 101. We wouldn't expect too many mistakes here, maybe a 213, 214.
Either way, the stage we'll avoid talking about until Tommy gets there.
Yeah, as you see Tommy loading to Aquatic Mine now.
Well, gets a free piece.
Does have the 3-piece with the Jumbo Eye. So not the best 3-piece one, or 3-piece you can get.
Ooh, Ghost Room piece 2.
Yeah. A little unfortunate again from Tommy. RNG really not on his side today.
But not a bad piece 3. Overall, still very solid, saving almost 20 seconds over Traitor.
Yeah, he won't be too disappointed with that. He would have maybe hoped for a little better, but 27 in Aquatic Mine, you don't upset yourself with those. Did play it very well, clean movement.
And no resets, whereas Traitor had to reset twice.
Exactly, yes, a little bit small. As you see, the timers did sync up there for a moment at 1:27. So you see Tommy is about 1 minute and 8 seconds behind. As we'll have both runners driving their way through Route 101 for a while. It does look like Traitor's had a fairly clean run through here. He's at about the pace you expect, passing that blue car for this downhill. So probably on pace for that high 213, low 214.
Not a stage that a lot of people like to practice, but you know, with these top runners, they've obviously spent so much time here that they don't need to concern themselves with practicing too much. Mistakes do still happen, but especially for 180 runners, they're so much more familiar. Ooh, but Tommy's spinning out.
Not a mistake you'd expect. I see Traitor now coming towards the end. Looking like he's got a pretty good time here. So Tommy, with that spin out, probably going to lose a few more seconds to Traitor here. Not really mistakes he could afford to making. It was a high 213 for Traitor. So very, very clean Route 101. We'll see just how much time Tommy is going to be losing to that. As we do enter the infamous desert section of the run. Really, really make or break time for runners. So easy to just find yourself making a couple of rather simple mistakes and throwing away 20, 30 seconds of a death.
And Hidden Base, a place where, you know, people always question exactly what we're going to see at the start. I would assume that both of these players are going to be going for pole hop at the beginning.
I'd imagine IL pole hop attempt here from Traitor. Does go for it, doesn't get it, does get the second try. He will have enough time still to make the cycle.
Please needing an additional pause, but still saving time compared to some of the alternatives.
Yeah, it does come to make that cycle. Opting to jump from the higher platform. A little bit slower, but definitely a lot safer. As we see Tommy now coming to the end of his Route 101. Ooh, Traitor having just enough height to make that pause hover. Getting that 50 check, so on good pace here. We did see a 140 through the stage yesterday from the drum. I know some of these top runners are capable of the sub 140s, but whether we'll see one today.
Oh, definitely not this one after that little pop.
Yeah, a little mistake there. Not quite enough height on that pause hover. Does lose a couple of seconds, but Tommy lost, I think it was about 4.5, 5 seconds throughout his Route 101.
Indeed.
Traitor definitely having that little bit of a buffer right now to play with in this race. Definitely looking on good pace for his Hidden Base so far. Just only pushing that 140 mark.
Tommy not even going for a pole hop or GC skip, just running straight for the axle.
I did it!
Yeah, Traitor coming through with a 142. So with a couple of mistakes, pretty good effort. But yeah, Tommy pretty much instantly going to be losing time in the stage, going for the slower strat at the start, losing probably about 4 seconds, I think, with that technique.
Maybe a little less than that just because of Traitor needing to second try the pole hop, but not quite making the height on that pause hover either.
Yeah, so not the fastest Hidden Base you'll see so far from Tommy, as he comes to the second half of the stage, hoping to get through that nice and clean. As we see Traitor entering into Pyramid Cave. Very, very technical stage. A low 12 for his first checkpoint.
And also introducing the bounce bracelet in this stage, which definitely opens up a lot more movement options for Sonic moving forwards.
Traitor getting a sub 30 time for the upgrade. Sort of standard you do expect to see from these top runners.
Not quite getting the first try door skip,
but adjusting very quickly, getting there on the second attempt. Now you did mention it earlier in the stream about the potential of a hex skip attempt here. He is feeling confident by the look of it. He's hit pretty much everything he's gone for so far. See, maybe that is on the cards.
But also maybe not if he doesn't want to potentially lose the PB to it. We will see.
I think that a quad in mind might have taken hope for that away from him already. You are playing with such fine margins at the top level. And he is going for hex skip.
And he makes the first jump.
Oh, we're messing up the second part. Very unfortunate. Credit for the attempt, though. I think he's going for it again. Okay, so not happy with missing it.
Not the best setup for the second jump. Still not getting it.
I think he might... Yeah, he's going to play it safe here. He did put the 2 attempts in. Very, very difficult to skip 2 hit. So, understandable misses.
First and one of the very few, if only, players attempting to go for it in this tournament, especially in upper pools.
Yeah, I don't think we'll see too many people taking that risk. It is, of course, the fastest way to go through it, but very, very easy to cost yourself some a death there, as we saw, and then the failed attempt. Still coming through with a sub 140 time, but losing a bit of time with those 2 failed hex skips. Tommy, we see there another controversial upgrade weight on Tommy, letting that camera reset itself. But maybe a small chance for Tommy to get some of this time back here.
You know, Stolen Cryptic in chat saying that he's hoping he does the first hex skip, and I did specify upper pools for a reason.
So Traitor here getting, again, RNG on his side. Stinkbug not the best piece, but getting Bugs on patrol.
Definitely a fantastic grab there.
I think that's
getting
our
the
first
red box clip too.
I think that's our first sight of Bugs in a first load-in.
Tommy not going for hex skip, going for the safer snake skip instead, and getting it fairly comfortably.
Traitor here, is he opting to go for a consistent green? No, he's going to take the hint, see what his piece is. So getting the, not the best piece from there, but you will take that after Bugs. You don't complain too much. Getting his red box tip again, and then clipping straight back in by the look of it. A little unfortunate.
A couple of blue box clip instead.
Gets that nice and clean. We'll finish off the stage. So a pretty good death chamber all round for Traitor. You see Tommy coming out of Pyramid Cave, but there's still 6 seconds, an entire death chamber in between them.
Looks like he's about 57 seconds behind, so he's gotten a little bit of time back, but not much.
They're getting Bat's Nest, then Golden Goddess, the 50-50 piece. Understandable not taking that one. Fly higher than a bird, so Tommy really getting unlucky here with these pieces. He does get a piece on his 3rd attempt, and it is the blue above a small flame, but not the best RNG here for Tommy. A little unfortunate. Maybe hoping for the Beauty and the Beast 3 piece here as he goes for the clip out. Not getting that one either. Yeah, so Tommy not only losing time from these unfortunate having to reset, but then time, of course, for resetting. As you see, Traitor here
gets rewarded with the death strat. Not quite. Also not checking for bugs himself.
He probably is checking through the top corner as he loads in. You can just about spot it in those top 3 frames.
Here's his last life.
So yeah, Tommy getting very unlucky here and not getting a piece on his final life. So RNG really not on Tommy's side today. Very, very unfortunate. As you see, his piece 1 was above the small flame, the blue one. So very unlucky with those death strats. As I think we see our first successful super bounces in the tournament. I think he missed, Traitor I think missed 1 of them there, but overall 3 out of 4, pretty clean fight.
And we've seen a few super bounces, but I think some players were doing a mix of regular super bounces, poverty bounces, profit bounces. This is the first time we've seen just the straight super bounces all the way through.
Nice try, Rocky.
Does finish with that just over 30-second time, 31.
Very solid egg golem time for a boss that can give you a lot of trouble if things go wrong.
Yeah, we have seen some players spend over a minute in that boss fight, so getting out in 30 seconds, not the worst. Tommy does eventually get out of Death Chamber, but a lot of time lost. Very, very unfortunate.
So he's about 34 seconds and 2 bosses behind, with those bosses being King Boom Boo and Egg Golem.
Probably about 1:45 if they go well for him here. So see Traitor missing his first try bofa, so maybe a little window for Tommy to make some time save back when he gets here, but you would imagine a clean second attempt. Although we have seen some people struggling on the second attempt, which is just so it is infamously a lot more easy to get the second attempt, but still very struggling. And we see a right side attempt and getting out of bounds. Don't expect to see too many right side bofas in this tournament. Yeah, Traitor the first one to go for the right side and get it.
Leads to definitely a more awkward out of bounds movement if you're not used to it, but it looks like he knows where he's going.
So see Tommy with a reset in King Boom Boo. It is a bit of time save, even in the new V1 Lobus era. Not quite as much as it used to be, but still definitely faster than just letting the cutscene at the beginning play out.
Gets the cap boost. Looks like we should hopefully see a clean 1 cycle here.
Yeah, he's got the third hit. Just needs that final hit now to get out of this boss nice and clean, which he does. So he'll be moving into Egg Golem as we see Traitor moving towards the goal ring. To make sure he doesn't get lost out of bounds here, looking for that tube. Has found it off to his right. Little far away. Does hit the goal ring nice and clean. Not the fastest Eternal engine you'll see, but he does have that big lead, so just getting out clean without the death.
And really not leaving much room here for Tommy to keep up, so it's becoming more and more a matter of Tommy trying to minimize that time differential for potential tie breaks later.
You'll see Tommy here using the super bounce method. Oh, and getting very unlucky on his third hit. Got the super bounce, but Egg Golem was just moving as he attempted it.
Going for a quick 4th hit.
Does get it on the second attempt, and yeah, gets his greed bounce and then the finish. But losing a bit more time there. You see Traitor, dangerous water drops. He is opting to take it, doing the 3-piece check and not getting it.
Looks like Tommy's about 155 behind leaving Golem so far.
It's close.
Can't imagine that there's many places where Traitor would lose full 2 minutes.
He has got the top bottom, so there is a very small chance here of a top third piece, which will cost him some time in this stage. You see what the final hint is. It does get a bottom piece, so very lucky third piece there for Traitor. Once again, RNG doing him a little kind favor. Only really the aquatic mine that's been unfortunate for him. Everything else has been very kind. But taking a 40-second time, never too upset with that. See Tommy missing his first attempt at bofa.
See how second try goes. And not getting it. Does he go for the right side as well? Looks like he is.
And not able to hit it. So he is losing more time to Traitor here.
Treasure hunter. Did you find my emerald?
That's a good one. Your emerald. Talking to you is a waste of time.
It definitely needs to be very conscious of his lives because can only afford to die one more time, but gets the clip out.
Yeah, I think that might be why he was attempting that right side bofa, wanting to give himself every opportunity to get out before the reset, or the exiting for lives if it came to it. That is, of course, timed nowadays, so that would have been extra time lost on him.
Get away from my emerald.
Still very likely he's going to want to get out before Crazy Gadget.
Yeah, as you see, Stage Traitor is entering now after that pretty clean Rouge fight. Wouldn't complain at a 15:05. So we're going to see Traitor going here for CGSS. He will not be using the box hover method, but will still be setting up the good cam. So losing a little bit of time for that setup, but taking the sort of older, slightly harder method in my opinion to get it, but you get the more distance when you do get out of bounds, so it's a lot easier to hit the goal ring when you do get out.
It's a little bit faster as well.
Oh, interesting.
Going for skipless.
This I would not have expected.
I'd just be trying to keep things safe for the race. Maybe his practice was not going well with CGSS.
Tommy missing the goal ring in Bofa. So Tommy with that massive time loss there. Just noticed that. He does get out again on his final life. Okay, so I'm being told now the gentleman skipless crazy gadget. So that does explain why Traitor chose not to go for it. Understandable, this is a very, very fun stage to play skipless. So both players, of course, being 180 players, used to playing this skipless.
But also means that much fewer opportunities for the time difference to shrink. Only other major skip left being Final Rush skip, and not something that these top pools players are really going to mess up all that often.
That's assuming they haven't gentlemen that out of the race as well. It's also another very fun stage to play. So there is a
possible. They both do FR wall run. Might be the only chance we get to see that here.
C-Trait with a very, very clean crazy gadget so far. Looking to be about a 145, 146, I believe.
Just under 146.
Yeah, so the 145.99, very, very fast skipless. You won't see too many skipless in this tournament, I wouldn't expect. Maybe that might be one of the fastest ones we see, as Tommy does eventually get to that goal ring in Bofa. But yeah, now looking really, really far behind. He's got a whole Rouge, Metal Hard, Meteor Herd, apologies, and skipless crazy gadget to catch up, and a 40-second time on top of that. Traitor hitting the Manip on Eggman, it looked like. Should be getting a very solid 14-second time here.
Very solid fight.
Let's see how RNG finally treats Tommy in the final stage. Getting a little vertex there, just to show his luck today. No free piece.
And failing to get the hint.
Yeah, and getting that far as well, so...
Getting the mid-bottom. So hopefully we'll see if he gets the top piece of...
Moving smoothly, of course it is. That is just the luck Tommy's having today.
Very unfortunate.
And we'll see now if there is any agreement for skipless final rush. It does look like there
is.
Unless we are going to see our first final fast final rush skip attempt. So FFR might be being attempted. I'm not sure. No, he's going to be going skipless. So I imagine this has probably been gentlemen between them again.
And not the first skipless FR that we've seen, but will be the first one to feature FR wall run, which is definitely a very impressive looking trick.
I mean, it's a very impressive looking stage when done fast, and both these runners at a very high level able to go through it very quickly. Ooh, Traitor messing up his first attempt at wall run. We'll continue to go for it again. Yeah, getting very unfortunate here, not able to...
Doesn't quite have the speed.
Yeah,
not sticking to the wall.
There's some quite quick inputs you need to do here to get on the wall. I'd recommend him holding a little bit right as he lands on the wall, just help you stick a little bit better.
Not giving up on it. Really wanting to show it off to the fans. And there he goes.
Yeah, he does eventually hit it. I'm sure he's a little bit upset of how long that took him. And then a little bit of showcase here with a skewed gravity, doing the mini skip and nailing it.
Not a variant of FR wall run that I've seen before.
Yeah, this is the sort of thing I did expect to see when they were setting up the skipless. Something you don't see when they do the A ranks, but definitely some of the fun stuff you can do with the skewed gravity in the stage.
Ooh,
oh, Traitor just hitting the kill
plane
though. Very unfortunate.
Very well programmed game, showing platforms directly underneath where you end up hitting a kill plane.
Of course, with Tommy going to be doing these stages skipless as well, and that massive advantage Traitor does have in time at the moment. He does have the time to maybe have a little bit of fun here. Cutting into maybe his time difference at the end. I see Tommy a very cool light dash there at the top of the stage. So both these runners showing off a little bit with some of their movement. Oh, and Traitor again failing the mini skip. So maybe he's giving Tommy a small window to catch back up if he can have a clean Crazy Gadget and Final Rush. I don't suspect this will make too much of a difference to the end result, but closing it up definitely a lot. So we see Tommy having a just as I was speaking, I was about to say very clean Crazy Gadget. He gets a one-ring light dash, gets thrown off the stage.
I hate to see it.
This game is not Tommy's friend today.
Looks like Final Rush not exactly being Traitor's friend either.
He is going for a pretty hard trick here that you don't see very often. But cool of these runners to agree to do this skipless space stages just to show off some of these epic tricks you don't often get to see. Traitor just landing on the rail there and saving it this time. So he is going to get to the end of Final Rush here, it seems. Assuming no more big mistakes. As I see Tommy now approaching the end of his Crazy Gadget.
Looking like Traitor should be hoping to get 27 time.
Yeah, it should be a low 27 coming in from Traitor, you'd expect here.
Tommy in chat asking if he should do the thing.
If he's talking about a fast FR, definitely. The race is pretty much over at this point, you'd expect, unless Traitor really has issues in Shadow 2, but it has to be very, very long issues.
Traitor with the if you feel comfortable, and Tommy saying he does not, so we may not see it.
Tommy maybe a little concerned about that tiebreaker time difference if he does fall too far behind.
Definitely been giving that little bit of extra opportunity. Not quite getting the cleanest Eggman 2.
Yeah, he does pause over in the final here, as Traitor does finish at 27.04.9. So that is the victory for Traitor. Tommy's time already above that as he enters into Final Rush. So congratulations to Traitor on his first match victory. And we'll stick around now to see the end of Tommy's run, see just how much that margin of victory is.
And see what strategies he decides to go for if he's not going to be doing FR skip.
Awesome job, Tails.
It'd be interesting if he does showcase off something different that we haven't seen yet in this tournament. Not going for FR skip.
Switches.
So potential here. Maybe he's going to go for the fast FR.
Losing that speed on the rail, I think that probably makes him a little uncomfortable about it.
Yeah, not going for it. He's going to be going skipless. But skipless is still a very, very cool way to showcase this stage. We saw Traitor have a few issues with it. Maybe we can see a clean one from Tommy to close out his first race. Tommy is on again straight after this in his next match, which is against Kurik, I believe. So you're hoping to get some of that good movement practice.
The first try wall run, so closing some of that gap there.
And he is going for the skewed gravity. Taking the IL wall run strat as well. Like, he didn't use the consistent, more consistent setup. And here's his attempt at the mini skip. It's getting the skewed gravity. It's looking good so far. Maybe a little far to the right. Yeah, I'm just losing it right there at the end. Quite unfortunate losing the skewed gravity. There's a reason you don't see these tricks very often in runs, guys. Even outside of Hero Story attempts, they are very difficult to pull off.
And not really many categories where they would shine if you're trying to get a top tier time.
Tommy is struggling a little bit this time to get onto the wall. He does get back on though this attempt.
See if he goes for the skewed gravity again.
Yeah, he does go for it again. Skewed gravity, not the bit that's been giving issues there though. It's the mini skip afterwards that's been causing the problems. Light Traitor, though, avoiding going for that checkpoint.
And only one life left, so
Yeah, and once again, getting a bit unlucky with the losing the gravity.
and we'll see what he decides now. He's on his last life, so another death would end up causing him to restart the entire stage.
Of course, quitting out not really an option, because if you fail to complete your run, it is a 2-hour time you get set as a penalty. So Tommy not really be able to afford that, you'd imagine. And he does have another race to get ready for in about 18 minutes time. So yeah, I think he's going to play it reasonably safe here and just get to the end of the stage.
I'm going for the normal wall run, the things that you'd expect from the A rank version of the stage.
Yeah, I think this is how most people would play it without the main skips.
Eggman steals the research from a military base.
Well, the people who know FR wall run at least.
The military's top secret weapon.
Very, very quick through these rail
Sealed
sections.
in the space colony Ark. The
Very clean rail switch there down to the bottom.
When all of the keys have been collected, world conquest will be at hand. Sonic Adventure 2, The Dark Side Story. Long live.
See, Tommy now is getting to the end of his final rush.
It looks like he should get a low 31, assuming he doesn't get trolled by Shadow 2. Not the time you'd expect from the caliber of runner, but with how long they spent trying to show things off in Final Rush, definitely skews the time from what you might be expecting.
Let me show you.
Oh, yeah, definitely both runners going for obviously the skipless base stages of Sonic. Tommy taking some unfortunate deaths through them, and of course Tommy RNG was really very inclined to win that. You can't overlook just how much time he lost to the game, just not wanting him to go fast.
And Tommy looks like electing to watch the cutscene. I guess one lighter-hearted thing to point out is that, this may not have been the way that Tommy wanted to go for this race, but this is a fairly low-stakes race at this point. Everyone in upper pools is going to be moving on regardless of how they perform. If it does come down to some of those tiebreakers, then that's mostly deciding whether or not he gets a round 1 bye in the double elimination bracket or not.
See Tommy here, just missing the final hit, but getting it on the bounce and finishing with a time of 31.31.
GG to both runners.
As we see breeding sounds being played by Traitor for that final fight. So congratulations to Tommy on finishing your run. Congratulations again to Traitor for your victory. Very, very entertaining race. Great stuff on show from the both of them. Some strats we might not see at all again in this tournament, so very fun indeed to watch that. And yeah, Tommy is back live next for his match against Kurik, and we're passing over to Cryptic and Drywall for the commentary in that one. Myself, I'll be back later on for the Iona Mikey match. I think that might be done on commentary today, Vuxel, if I'm correct.
That's it for me on comms, but I'll be back around 1 o'clock in the afternoon for the starting around the Tethys and Flub to be doing restreaming duty.
It's been a very enjoyable commentating with you on a very fun race. And I wish all our runners for the rest of the day a lot of luck, and I will see you guys later. Have fun.